Hi, this is James Birchall, and today's episode of the Smartcar Coffee Confidential might just be the riskiest I've ever filmed. Why? Because our guest is Vanessa Greenblatt. Now, Vanessa is a profiling and deception analyst, which means she's going to be able to tell if I'm lying. Okay, well, here she is, folks. Vanessa Greenblatt, my guest today, the profiling and deception analyst. And it's been very quiet in the car so far because I'm trying to figure out what I can and cannot say without getting called out. But all jokes aside, we're off to get a coffee for me. And it turns out that Vanessa likes tea.
Love tea.
So we're going to go get her a tea. And we're going to let Vanessa tell you a bit more about... Well, I've got like 1,000,001 questions about what it is she does.
Always good.
I read the website. I saw the name of your company is VMG. I was trying to guess what M stood for.
My middle name.
Yeah?
Yes.
That was my guess. I was trying to figure if it was Martha or Mary or something. I don't know. But,
No.
no? Okay.
Michelle.
Michelle. See, that was my next guess. See, that was a lot. Anyway, so look, what does a deception analyst do? For real.
Essentially, what I do when I'm profiling and being a deception analyst, I observe and I analyze people and their behaviors, and yes, I detect when they're lying. So I work with companies during the interview process, either when they're hiring or on suspected cases of fraud, theft, workplace harassment, or violence. But I'm also a certified body language trainer.
Yes, I read that too.
So as a body language trainer, I teach people how their body language speaks volumes about who they are and how others perceive them, and also to how to decode the signals people are sending them. So it's a great way. I go into companies, I do workshops, I can also do one-on-one coaching, I do presentations. So, you know, I read a study, LinkedIn's done a study, by 2020, your soft skills, which is people skills, which are body language and all that, is going to be much more important than your technological skills.
Here's what I understand about the subject matter. Now, I'm a rookie. I've had some training.
Yes,
I don't proclaim to be anywhere near your quality of shenanigans. But one of the things that I've always enjoyed, or at least one of the things I've realized, is this isn't an always-on skill. I mean, yes, I suppose after a while you can pick up on certain things. I mean, we are instinctive creatures. But doesn't this freak people out? Because it freaks people out when they hear I have any remote skills close to this, and you're like, you know, you're Jedi level compared to what I got.
Pretty much as soon as I introduce myself, everyone gets nervous. But I try to make a joke out of it to calm them down. I've had a few people say maybe I should change the title of what I do, but I like it. It stands out. It puts them on edge, but it's memorable, right?
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, especially when you're networking and pitching, you have to stand out from the crowd.
Especially when you're under 5 feet tall. I mean, you don't stand up or even
I don't. I'm a woman and I'm short and I look younger than I am.
Well, you know what? That's not such a bad thing. I looked a lot younger than I now look for the longest time.
Nice.
Well, I've shaved the beard off. But, you know, yeah. And people treat you differently when they think you're younger.
They do. They really, I mean, it's great to look and feel young, but it's that competence, right?
They judge
How much do you really know?
Oh.
So you have to come off as, I know this. So I like the title, and it makes people think, and it makes people, oh, well, what's this? And then it's always good to be a little conscious about your body language, because perhaps you were coming off as, you know, maybe low power, a little defeatist when you should be coming off as competent. That's not a bad thing.
It's true. Actually, the first thing really is self-awareness.
It is.
Be aware of, you know, everything you do, everything you say. I mean, I'm aware of how I'm dressed. I choose to dress a certain way when I do these interviews for a variety of reasons. I think I explained some of this to you on the phone. I mean, jeans and a t-shirt says something. Now, it doesn't say wonderful things to some people because they think, you know what, you should be wearing a suit. I did that for decades. Here's part of it, folks. White, it allows me to do a white balance when we're doing post-production on video later on.
Oh, that's why you're white.
I can just point the software at this and go, this is what white's supposed to look like, and then everything else balances out. Right? How long have you been doing this then? Since you've just made reference to the fact that you look younger than you are.
Let's see. So I started my business as a profiling and deception analyst. Then a couple years later, I incorporated it,
Okay.
changed it, got my body language trainer certificate. So essentially about 5 years, I believe, something like that, 5, 6. A couple years were a little.
Yeah, the beginning's always a bit,
Well, 2 years stuff happened, right? You know,
Yep.
family stuff, and I'm very much there for my family.
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of put the business on hold and you show up, you know?
Yeah. So they teach this in college and university then, this whole sort of deception analysis skill set.
Well, no, they didn't actually. Well, I was lucky enough. So when I was at Bond University in Australia, that's where I got my Master of Criminology, where I specialized in profiling and forensics.
Now that I find ironic, because Australia is a criminal outpost.
I know.
I have family down there.
I know, that's where all the English people.
Yes, I know. That's where they said all the English bad
yes.
people. Now hang on a sec. They're going to ask us for your
order?
drink choice, so let's not get into anything super
I won't.
super exciting because we'll kind of lose the plot.
Hello there. Thank you for choosing Starbucks. How are you doing?
We're good.
That's great.
Okay.
What would you like?
I'm going to have a green tea, please.
What size?
Large?
Yep.
Or whatever you call it.
Yeah, Laura.
Sure, gotcha. Anything else for you guys?
Yeah, I'll have a medium cappuccino with some sugar, please.
Oh, yeah,
And a
tall
medium
grande
cappuccino
venti.
with some sugar.
Yes, please.
Just one? You
Yes.
want raw or white sugar?
Oh, raw if you've got it. Thank you. What's wrong with my accent? I've been in Canada 25
I can understand
years.
you.
Normally we have no problem ordering
I
drinks.
don't think she can hear you
It's like,
very
I
well.
should use sign language. Oh well.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was.
I enjoyed that.
What? Try not to lose my cool here. I just want a bloody coffee. How hard is? I've been here dozens of times. How hard can this be?
And raw, even with an accent, doesn't sound like 4.
No, that's true. Raw. I don't know. Raw. Yeah. So you were saying Australia is
Yes.
where you got your start learning this stuff?
No, I got my start basically through school.
Oh,
So
okay.
I took, let's see, Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I originally went into school for math and drama and psychology. I know.
Well, I can see how you
Very
can get from psych to the other stuff.
Every analytical and creative.
Yeah.
And then I went to Ottawa where I got my BA in criminology and psychology. And then while I was there, a book and a movie really inspired me for profiling. But the programs, it was very new. No one even heard about profiling in Canada. Nobody knew how to point me in the right direction. So I went to Windsor, got my honors in criminology because there was a few more courses that I kind of liked. And then from there, excuse me, I researched it.
Yeah.
And that's when I ended up in Australia, where I was able to take the profiling and forensics, which was great. And while I was there, I was lucky enough, they called the Ekman Institute, Paul Ekman, which
Okay.
is what Lie to Me is based upon.
Right.
Yes.
I guess some people might
Or
not know
originally
that.
based
Yes.
upon. He was a consultant. Yeah, so it was great. I got to take a course in what's called analytic interviewing, which is about detecting deception through microfacial expressions.
Oh, yes.
So that's how I got a little more interested.
Wow.
And I've always been good at reading people. I knew when I didn't like someone or a new hire wouldn't work out. Thank you. And thank you for my tea.
You're welcome. I believe that one's yours. So
Is it?
here's, yeah, that's huge. So you can have the front, and I will take the back. I'm
Oh,
probably
it's
gonna
the
drink-
tea thing.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I was like, oh,
We're good. Thank
by
you.
taking this course, I really understood a bit more about articulating what I was always seeing from people. Excuse
Almost
me.
like-
I knew when I liked them. I knew when I didn't. I always used to warn my friends, about their friends or their boyfriends.
Yeah. You must have been popular. You get the skinny on some guy and tell your girlfriends that everything they see looks good, but some way somehow they're leaking information.
That's right.
Isn't that generally how it works? We leak.
Yes, we leak the truth because our bodies aren't designed to tell the truth. So when we are lying, we get very anxious, and so the truth tends to leak out.
Unless you're a sociopath.
No, that's actually wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Now, if you're a pathological liar, that's a difference. But psychopaths are very charming. So we tend to not think they're lying. So they're not any better than us. They're actually not great liars. They're just so charming that we tend to think, oh, they can't be lying. They're wonderful. And that's
so we're
the problem.
distracted more than anything.
Yes.
So we, if anything, we overlook our instinctive cues because. So what's that? We're using our conscious awareness rather than our guts and our kind of.
Yes, I've always said our guts will be the first thing that says, "Can you pay attention, please?" And it's us to decide: do we pay attention? Do we want to know? I pay attention to those red flags, right? And a lot of people think it's a whisper. It's a like you said, a little feeling, but people think it should be bright lights flashing.
Yeah.
And it really isn't. It's this little hint that you feel something's off.
Cynical. I've always said to people that the world is filled with assholes and angels, and it's a sliding scale. You know, if you look hard enough at everybody, you're going to find dirt. You're going to find darkness.
Of course, none of us are perfect. It's what you're seeing. Like, I know when I've been on, say, some dates back in the day, it wasn't. People accuse me like, oh, you're being picky, or everyone's, excuse me, everyone's got quirks. But it's not quirks. When you see an ingrained personality trait like anger, right? That to me says this is going to blossom into something. They need to work on their anger. So you're not, as I said, everyone's got quirks. I've got quirks. I'm a little weird. What is normal, as they say? Right?
That's a really
what is
good
normal?
Question.
But it's those ingrained personality traits, I think, that are harmful. That's what you have to pay attention to, because that is important. Because of what I know, I do still see certain expressions or body language, so I'm like,
There's an
gotcha.
Is it true that the whole rubbing your nose thing sometimes is tied to lying? Because they say that when blood flow kicks up, it makes your nose tingle.
Yes, but again, that's a cluster.
So it's got to be part of things.
You can't take a one-off.
Yeah,
no. What if they have allergies?
Exactly.
What if they have a sinus issue?
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be aware. Context is important, extremely important in clusters. Those are two. I mean, there's 5 C's as we call them, but those are 2 extremely important, right?
So how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Probably LinkedIn. I do have a cover page for my website, but unfortunately it's just a cover page. I'm working on getting the actual revamping of the website going, but for now all my information is on LinkedIn for sure.
So the best way for them to go to LinkedIn and then just type in your name.
Yes, I've checked. I'm very easy to find.
Yes.
And I've had other people tell me I'm pretty easy to find, so that's always good.
Right, because your web address is vmgconsulting.ca.
Yes.
So, okay. All right, well, they can definitely find you.
Oh, yes. Go on LinkedIn. I'd say that has a good bio about me, too, and what I do, everything I do when it comes to profiling and deception analysis, as well as body language training.
Well, folks, that was Vanessa Greenblatt, the human lie detector, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Of course, keep a lookout for other episodes coming up soon. My name's James Burchell, and as I'm fond of saying, take care, stay frosty. Till next time, bye-bye.